Well, we have a big story developing tonight, reigniting the global debate about what to do with millions of displaced refugees from the war-torn Middle East. It started on New Year's Eve in the city of Cologne, Germany, where large crowds of what police describe as Arab men began sexually assaulting terrified young women. Here, a first-hand account from just one of the victims.
She says dozens of men surrounded her and her female friends, touching them everywhere and stealing her cell phone and another woman's wallet.
Now there are protests over the response from government officials and the mass migration of these immigrants. Joining me now, Dana Loesch, the host of Dana on the Blaze TV. Dana, good to see you.
Thank you, Megan.
And you've got to love the mayor of the town in which this happened, Mayor Recker, who comes out and says these young women could really do themselves a favor if they would just stay an arm's length away from strangers. It's always possible to keep a certain distance that is longer than an arm's length. Really, Mayor? Really, Henriette? Why don't you tell us all about it?
Yeah, Megan, I was completely blown away by the mayor's response. She's shaming these women who endured this. And you know, it's really hard to stay an arm's length away from someone who is grabbing at you and separating you physically, manhandling you, separating you from your group. At one account that I read, a 17-year-old girl was surrounded by something like 30 men at one point. They were separating her from her friends.
It's her fault. She should have run faster.
Oh, I know. Her code of conduct, right? No, nothing says that's. I mean, it's offensive on its face, and it was all done, Megan, for the sake of political correctness, because German officials didn't want to rock the boat.
Well, and this is so they're coming out. They're saying that it was a mass sexual assault by hundreds of men potentially. I mean, I've read all sorts of different numbers.
Yes.
And now the leader of the Nationalist Party Alternative for Germany says, is this the cosmopolitan and colorful Germany that Merkel wished for? Because they're concerned that, and there are reports that at least 8 of the suspects who have been detained were all asylum seekers, which has been very controversial in Germany as it is here.
In fact, Megan, some of the German newspapers are reporting that 14 of the 15, at least so far, known or identified are Muslim migrants, those who've been coming into Germany. And this hasn't just happened in Cologne either. This has also happened in Hamburg. It's happened in Stuttgart. It's happening more and more. It's happened in Norway. Megan, this is like the second or third time in recent weeks that you have had police and you have had elected leaders have to tell Muslim migrants what is acceptable and not acceptable behavior in public. I mean, at some point, are we going to have like a little lesson on, can we teach these, coming from a patriarchal society, can we tell Muslim migrants to not rape and sexually assault women?
They're still investigating exactly who committed the crime. I'm just reporting what we know about those they've detained so far.
Right.
But they're also complaining, these women and their supporters in Germany, because there was a basic media blackout of it. So they've let in a bunch of migrants. They believe at least 8 of the detained suspects were asylum seekers. When the crimes are allegedly committed by these guys, they scorn, the scorn is for the women for not running away faster.
Right.
And then the media blacks it out. I mean, you can understand why some of the Germans are a little upset.
Well, and Megan, it sounds so much like what happened in Rotherham. You had 1,400 girls who were raped, who were sold into sexual slavery, who were prostituted, who were abused for a number of years, not even one night, by Pakistani men. And local authorities and elected officials, they kept it quiet because they didn't want to disrupt the diversity of the area. It all came down to sacrificing the safety of our girls, the safety of young women, the safety of adult women for political correctness.
Unbelievable. This mayor is going to have to dial it back, and she's going to have to come out and issue a public apology, and I don't care if she's in Germany. Dana, good to see you.
Thank you, Megan. Good to see you.
Do you believe that?